Well, good morning, everyone, and it's a pleasure to be here with you all in Clarksville and on the campus of Austin Peay University this morning. On behalf of myself, I am the director of the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, and it is a division within the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security. So on behalf, not only myself, but Commissioner Jeff Long of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security, I welcome you here today and very appreciative of you all being here. I want to thank Austin Peay for hosting this event today, and we appreciate our partners, all of our partners who are in attendance today. I'd like to just name them quickly. The Kentucky State Police, we appreciate you all being here, the Tennessee Highway Patrol, the Montgomery County Mayor's Office, the Clarksville Mayor's Office, the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, Clarksville Police Department, the Tennessee's 19th Judicial District Attorney General's Office, and also our local media who are in attendance. The Hands Across the Border event that we are going to have today and this evening is an annual multi-jurisdictional initiative with our bordering states to crack down on drunk driving and make certain everyone is buckled up. We appreciate our partnerships with the state of Kentucky to collaborate on this campaign. Following this press event, there will be a static display of the Tennessee Highway Safety Office funded equipment right outside the stadium here, as you all saw coming in. And we use this for public awareness. And feel free to check it out and take photos and post those photos on social media, if you will, to share our message that we are doing what we need to do to save lives across the state. Today, our speakers will share local crash data, traffic safety tips, and enforcement information to prevent severe injuries and fatalities at the Tennessee and Kentucky border. We're asking our local citizens and members of the community to assist us in every way possible in protecting our roadways by exercising due care and obeying traffic laws. All traffic crashes, let me say this, all traffic crashes can be prevented by safe driving habits. Never drink and drive, slow down, put your phone down, always buckle up, and make certain your child is properly restrained in your child safety car seats. At this time, I would like to ask Captain Chris Dye of the Tennessee Highway Patrol to come make a few comments. Captain.
Good morning, guys and women. I am Chris Dye. I'm the Nashville District Captain, and Hands Across the Border is not really foreign for me. This is the third event that I've participated in, but I've been on the southern border of our state down in right around the Alabama line, and so this is the first time, and I appreciate my Kentucky counterparts for showing up here today. It really means a lot. We have a great working relationship with KSP, and I can't express my gratitude for some of the cars that we chase up and some of the cars you chase our direction. In 2017 was the actual first event that I participated in, and as I prepared my words today to bring to you guys, it was very apparent that we were talking about the same traffic problems across our state. The director here kind of hit on them, but DUI drivers, distracted drivers, unrestrained occupants in vehicles, and hazardous moving violations. And if you sit back and you really truly think what that means, it's the same problem. And if you look in the back of our room, I know that the people viewing this online can't see it, but we have numerous law enforcement officers who have dedicated their lives to help prevent these tragic events from taking place. The big thing that with Hands Across the Border is that it's multiple jurisdictions coming together for a greater cause. And no matter what uniform you wear, no matter where your jurisdictions stop and start at, we are all in the fight to save human lives. And if you really truly take that into consideration, wearing a seatbelt, not drinking and driving, putting the phone down, and driving the speed limit. We have a campaign, Slow Down Tennessee. We're very adamant about that. We're actively enforcing that because we know that that's one of the contributing factors of all causes. A year from now, when we do this event, I promise you I'll probably stand up here and say the exact same things. And how do we combat this? It is merely planning ahead. I have a thing is if you see something, say something. Star 847 for THP. Always call 911 if you're out here motoring and you see some unsafe driving behaviors. Please call in. That's the way that we are going to combat this. And lastly, I'd like to just bring a little bit of attention to what this weekend actually truly means. I am a United States Marine Corps veteran. I and my family were fortunate that I served and came home. During this time this weekend, I want you guys to really sit back and remember the ones that gave the ultimate sacrifice protecting our freedoms and our country, and take a minute and pray for them and their families. Please be safe. Please adhere to some of the other safety messages you're going to hear, and I thank you for letting me share a little bit of my time with you today. Thank you.
It's an honor to be here today. You know, people ask what makes Montgomery County so great, and I tell them it's collaboration, not competition. And this is just another fine example of that, seeing all these departments coming from both sides of the state line coming together to make this the safest place possible to live, work, and play. And I appreciate everything each and every one of y'all do. You know, I come from the hose dragger side of public safety, but it was always comforting to me any time that I rolled up on a scene and I saw that CPD or the Sheriff's Office or THP was already there, because we knew that everything was going to be all right, that y'all had our backs. And I appreciate everything that y'all do. My wife Sarah and I, we pray for each and every one of you every day, and we're grateful for you. Thank y'all.
Good morning, and thank you, Director Lewis, and welcome back to Clarksville. Spent a little time with the director. I got to know him a little bit, and he's a West Tennessee Flatlander over in Tipton County. So welcome to God's country over here in Clarksville, Montgomery County. We're grateful for the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and your partnership with us. I was talking last night after our council meeting with Sergeant Brett Norfleet of our Clarksville Police Department. He was talking about how user-friendly your office is. So thank you to every single person in the office who works with us, and we're grateful for your help. And speaking of Clarksville Police Department, Chief Burdine, and to Captain Koyama, Lieutenant Lewis, and any other member of the Clarksville Police Department that's here or nearby, I can't brag on you enough. And so just thank you for your commitment to keeping us safe. Over the past 5 years, the city has been the beneficiary of funding from the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Almost $900,000 to $100,000 has been received to do those things that are important, that the directors talked about, that Captain Dye talked about. And so we are excited about what will come about as a result of this Hands Across the Border effort over the weekend, kicking off what we believe is probably the most dangerous time on our highways. But made better because of your commitment. And it's good to see our Kentucky counterparts here as well. We compete when we're on the football field and the basketball court, but when it comes to saving lives, as Mayor Golden said, we collaborate. So we are excited. You know, my personal favorite of what we try to do with the funding is to save the lives of pedestrians who cross the street, sometimes unsafely, and sometimes the drivers have a lot to do with their injuries and death. And so we are excited about what we need to do, and we look forward to partnering with your office, Director Lewis, and making sure that we do all we can. So again, thank you for being here today. And since we're on the campus of Austin Peay State University, we've got to end it this way. Let's go Peay. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. The sheriff regrets that he wasn't able to make it this morning. Something came up at the last minute, but he did have plans on being here. I've been with the sheriff's office numerous years, and I'm going to show a little bit of my age. Probably back in 2002, when it was the governor's highway safety office, is when I began working for them and assisting them as a district coordinator. And through the years, I've continued on. The Hands Across the Borders is a great event. We get to meet our partners across the state line. Kentucky State Police, thank you for showing up. It's always been great. We got a lot of stories to tell and things that go on, and to share the information between our agencies on what they're doing to make their roads safer and what we're doing. Based on that information and everything, it helps out. Funding through the THSO now has given us the ability to purchase equipment that's needed to try to work on getting these roads safer. Our numbers stagger in the 30s on fatalities. We try to make them better. We look at all the evidence, and I get with Lieutenant Lewis. We look at all these fatal crashes, and we try to figure out what the contributing factors are, along with Lieutenant Smith, wherever he went. We try to figure out what the contributing factors are, and then we try to work on that goal on what we can do to make it better. Otherwise, I mean, thanks for letting me be here. Thanks for letting me speak. And I appreciate everyone that's here. Thank y'all. Have a safe weekend.
First of all, I'd say Chief Crocker could not be here today, but I know how he is, and I know what he wants to say. We truly appreciate the relationship with THSO. It is, it's made a difference as a force multiplier to prevent accidents, prevent deaths, and to save lives. And I can tell you this much, sir, that whatever that we get funding-wise or equipment, that I'm very proud of our team and how they take care of the equipment that we are able to get from them. I saw them this week, as a matter of fact, out with the pressure washer all dirty, cleaning up all the equipment. So thank you so much for that, Lieutenant Lewis, Captain Koyama, and your team. You start talking about, DUI, traffic enforcement, and what can happen. And sometimes it's out of sight, out of mind when it comes to safety and what the results and consequences can come from drinking and driving, inattentive driving. And, I just want people to sit and really think about what would happen if a loved one or a police officer or a chaplain knocks on their door and has terrible news for them. It is real. And the fatalities and things that these officers that see and the families have to deal with, it is real. And I just ask that people this weekend take a moment before they drink and drive, to really think about it. I also want to thank Lieutenant Lewis, Captain Koyama, and the relationship that you foster with Director Lewis, and also Ms. Lauren Winters. She is very active with us with the grants and making sure we're responsible and accountable for what we get. So thank you so much. I know, Lieutenant Lewis, your days are kind of getting numbered here, but we certainly appreciate all the relationship fostering that you do with THSO. So thank you so much, sir.
The District Attorney General Robert Nash has a commitment at TBI today. So then we went and found our grant prosecutor. He's got a family emergency, so I'm sorry, I'm the third one down. With me today is Jamina Kleinert and Lee Kyra. They are Sherry Murphy's counterparts here locally, and they used to work together, so thought we would have everyone have a little reunion here today. I was raised in California. If you're familiar with California, you probably know that the state line between California and Nevada runs through the desert. California and Oregon runs through the mountains. California and Arizona, wow, that's a desert. Many places in California where you cross into Nevada, you'll be coming down a badly paved road or a gravel road, and you feel a bump, you think, was that the state line? And Nevada grades their gravel roads more often, so they're not quite so washboarded. You don't really need hands across the border in California. We sure need it here. It just seems like a brilliant idea to me to have our states work closely together. Kentucky, Tennessee, especially Georgia, and I guess Arkansas too, because we all know where Memphis is. Again, coming from California, we've got a lot of two-lane roads that have narrow shoulders or no shoulders whatsoever, growing faster than California, which I don't know. That's the mayor's bailiwick, not mine, but we have more traffic all the time. California's bars close at 2. Here in Tennessee, they close at 3. Okay. And we do have places that try to be after-hours clubs. So there is a situation where we have a lot of young people that are young, they're footloose, some of them are inexperienced drivers, and we have what it seems to me to be a lot of alcohol availability, but that's just me. I just bought a 2023 car. Why should you care? Well, because I use my phone, and I have Waze on this big screen in the car, and I have Pandora on this big screen in the car. I don't know why in the world I couldn't have Netflix and watch movies as I'm driving down the road, and I'm sure some of these people around here do. So we need to keep the pressure on, particularly with alcohol, particularly with distracted drivers. General Nash has prioritized DUI crimes in this county. He's been able to get the federal grant restored. We have one full-time prosecutor who only does vehicular assault, vehicular homicide, and DUIs. He doesn't do and cannot do, according to the terms of the grant, our drivers driving down the road watching Netflix movies. Those are not part of his bailiwick, but we still have an awful lot of work for him to do. And he has one full-time victim witness coordinator to assist him. We've had a lot of discussions. Clarksville has Uber, Clarksville has Lyft, Clarksville has bars. Why is the city police still so busy? We're not quite sure. Maybe people want to save a few bucks at the risk of killing someone else. Very difficult to understand. Our prosecutor told us yesterday that 90% of the charges he has involve alcohol and secondarily drugs in the system. So that's where we still are. We think that this weekend and all summer long will be excellent times for our young people and our bar people to use the apps and rideshare. Don't be out on the road. There's really no reason for it. So after discussing it among ourselves, I don't know anybody in our office can think of anything more appropriate for this weekend and for all summer than the efforts that all of you will be making to prevent alcohol-related crashes and impaired crashes.
And we appreciate everyone's comments this morning. We appreciate the partnerships. Every department, every agency that's represented here, we could not do what we do without partnerships across the state of Tennessee and today across the state line of Kentucky. So we thank you all for being here. Just a few closing remarks. You know, we talk about each and every day. I get a copy of the state fatality report, and every day I look at that fatal fatality report, and I look at those numbers, and we look at numbers. And this morning, as I looked at it, I believe it was 509 fatalities in the state of Tennessee thus far this year. 509, and we talk about numbers, but the one thing that I want always to know and let people know is those are just not numbers. They're people. They're people. They're children. They're teenagers. They're senior adults. They're grandmothers, granddaddies, teenagers, sons, granddaughters. They're just everyone that will not be a part of a family this year at some point in time. So when we talk about numbers, I always try to put it in perspective of people who will not be at a dinner table tonight because someone got killed last night. They will not be there. So I just always try to put that in perspective of us individually. What would we think if one of our family members was a victim of a DUI offender? If we were a victim of someone making that wrong decision, because every decision that's made to drink and drive could have been prevented. There are so many avenues that people can take, so many options that people can take. If you're going to drink and drive, that is the wrong decision to make. So we appreciate the work that everybody here and all over the state of Kentucky do each and every day to prevent fatalities and to save lives each and every day.